What's up, everybody? Charlie Marlow here. Had to do a video, an actual video, not just audio, to talk about these Redbirds. I have to talk to the people here. Cardinal Nation, take the temperature of the fan base. I want to know your level of concern with what's going on right now, specifically with the offense. Okay, they haven't got a hit essentially since Nam, and I know that the Padres are good. Reds, not so much. Cardinals just can't score a run. You have this lineup. Let's start here. Let's start with the outfield. This also impacts the defense. Just think about the outfield the Cardinals envision, not just for 2022, but for the future. When you had, entering the year, Tyler O'Neill, 8th in the MVP last year, Gold Glover. Harrison Bader, Gold Glover in center. Young up-and-coming player, Dylan Carlson, had a ton of outfield assists last year. Productive hitter on the come. And then look at the outfield now. Tyler O'Neill hasn't found his swing all season long. Harrison Bader obviously traded to the Yankees for Jordan Montgomery. And Dylan Carlson, who was this guy you couldn't move in a Juan Soto deal, along with Nolan Gorman, who, by the way, is in the minor leagues. Dylan Carlson also hasn't found his swing all season long. He was on the IL. Was he actually hurt? Was that something where this man just needed a reset? And look at last night's game. Now, Blake Snell shoved. He's a really good pitcher. He can go out there and strike out 13. That's going to happen every once in a while. But this is more of a trend with the Cardinals. This entire week and going back to the Red Series, really since Saturday, these guys can't score a freaking run. And part of it is you have no table setters. Now, Brendan Donovan had the night off, and I get that. Brendan Donovan, I love the fact, 390 on-base percentage. Put that man at the top of the lineup, set it and forget it. I'm telling you. Tommy Edman is a really good player, really good defensive player, really good utility player, scrappy, above-average offensive player. However, he has never profiled well as a leadoff man. Why is that? Because he doesn't get on base. I looked this up earlier. I believe career on base right around something 320. Same with Dylan Carlson. That was your batting order last night. Tommy Edman, who doesn't get on base, followed by Dylan Carlson, who doesn't get on base. Those are supposed to be your table setters for the big boppers, who are also scuffling now. But I'm not going to blame Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado. They've carried this team all season long. Also Albert Pujols, who broke up the no-hitter with the single the other way. But those guys, Edman, Carlson, O'Neill entering the year, those were the guys you expected to lengthen the lineup. For so much of this year, Paul Goldschmidt trending towards a triple crown or the MVP. Nolan Arenado trending towards another top 10 MVP type season. Those guys are going to scuffle. It happens. Everybody has a bad month. Goldie had a bad month. He was good last week. Arenado has cooled off. Albert, for the most part, has certainly, he's been heating up post All-Star break. We've seen that. But where's the length of this lineup? It's nowhere to be seen. Some of the guys contributing earlier in the season. Brendan Donovan has been fantastic when you look at his body of work. Tommy Edman, overall above average offensively, not a leadoff guy. Dylan Carlson, I don't know what the hell is happening with him. That's somebody that you looked upon and said, maybe he's your 2-hitter, maybe he's your 5-hitter. I don't think you're thinking that on a good playoff team right now. I know that was the case last night, but Dylan Carlson should not be hitting in the 2-hole. Corey Dickerson here and there. He got hot here recently. Paul DeYoung is just absolutely lost at the plate. Whatever you're going to get from your catching position, Andrew Kisner, Yadier Molina, both those guys are hitting around 200. They're not going to give you a ton offensively. So I've kind of went all the way around the diamond right there. And look, it's a rough stretch, but also I think the reason we need to pay attention is these are the types of pitching matchups, of trios that you may face in that wild card series. And I've said this all along with the Cardinals. All right, I really like the Cardinals' pitching depth. I like the fact that you can run out in whatever order in a playoff series. If it's Michaelis, Montgomery, Quintana, Waino has the dead arm, whatever happens with Flaherty, he has to prove himself. But they don't have an ace anymore that scares you. Adam Wainwright did 10 years ago. Jack Flaherty scared teams in the postseason. He scared teams in 2019. He was pretty dang good in the first half of last season. But they don't have anybody who you line up and you go, man, that dude, he might shove 7-8 innings, scoreless baseball, or 1 run with 9 strikeouts, 11 strikeouts, whatever it is. The Cardinals don't have that guy. And that's what worries me when we start seeing them facing these rotations like the Padres, where Mike Clevenger is nasty, but he doesn't have great numbers this year. And then Blake Snell takes a no-hitter deep in the game, punches out 13 guys, and then you may face, in the finale, you are facing, but he might be the best of all 3 of those guys in Joe Musgrove, who's really, really good. And oh, by the way, in this series, you missed Yu Darvish, who's really, really good. Those are the types of pitchers you're going to face in this wild card series if it's against the Padres and if it's against the Phillies, let's say. Look, Zach Wheeler, off the injured list, pitched really well in a short outing. But if the Cardinals are facing the Phillies, it's going to be at home, Busch Stadium. That's great. Cardinals are really good at home, so I love that for the Cardinals. But if you're lining up Zach Wheeler in Game 1, if you have to face Aaron Nola in Game 2, those are guys that have something that the Cardinals starters don't possess. And that's the huge swing and miss. We're talking double-digit strikeout type performances. Those guys can do that to you. And that's why I'm worried for the playoffs. Like, the Cardinals still might make a run. They could go deep. I'm not counting them out. We looked this up today that the odds to get to the World Series for the Cardinals plus 700. So we were going to make a bet where I bet $50 that the Cardinals don't make the playoffs. I'd have to pay my buddy, $350 if they make it. But look at what that is. That's the Cardinals winning 3 playoff series. Let's just go ahead and look at what these series are going to be. Most likely, first round series, let's just say Phillies. Again, at home, you're facing Wheeler, Nola, some combination of, let's say, Kyle Gibson and Thor. So you got to beat that team, that Phillies team, just to most likely get to the Mets. Then the Mets are well rested. They didn't play in that first series. They're lining up some combination of Max Scherzer, Jacob deGrom, who are both Hall of Famers, followed by Chris Bassett or whoever else they're going to throw out there, Taijuan Walker. Injury-wise, we got to check, Carlos Carrasco and all that. But that's then to get to the NLCS, where you'd be facing most likely Dodgers or Braves. Dodgers are a freaking elite juggernaut. The Braves are the defending World Series champs, and you're facing the likes of Spencer Strider, who can punch you out, Charlie Morton, Max Fried. So that's the order, the tall order the Cardinals are looking at right now. I just look at these Cardinals. My opinion of them hasn't really changed since the second half of the season. I think they're a very good team. I don't think they're elite. I think they're probably top 10 in baseball. Are they pushing top 5 in baseball? Yes. Problem is, 3 of the best teams in baseball, in my opinion, are all ahead of them if you had to do the power rankings thing, in Dodgers, in Mets, and Braves. So that's why for a while it felt like a special season for the Cardinals. It still does with everything with Albert Pujols. And I'm not saying it can't be a special October. Believe me, I promise you, I want it to be. I hope I'm wrong here. I hope it's a very special red October and they're playing deep and they win the World Series. But when you look at this team and you look at the offense, which has been non-existent recently, you look at the starting rotation, which has great depth, but nobody really scares you. And then you realize just to get to a World Series, to potentially try to beat a Yankees or an Astros, let's say, you would most likely have to beat a Phillies, a Mets, and a Dodgers and or Braves. That is a really, really tall order. So, all right, that went a little longer than I expected. Give me your comments. Are you worried? Are you concerned? Are you very concerned? Are you saying, look, man, I don't know what the hell's going on with this team? Let me know. Comment. And also, if you like this video, if you got some value, if you laughed, whatever it is, please, if you haven't subscribed, give us a subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps with these videos. And also give us a like. That helps with the YouTube algorithm and gets this going. And hopefully we can continue to bring you tons of free content on this channel, even though you do have to sit through some ads here and there. But hey, it's not that big of a deal. And they're great sponsors that you can also go and buy their products. So appreciate it. hopefully the Cardinals can pull out the finale of this series. But once again, let me know. Comment, like, subscribe. I want to hear you. Are you freaking mad? No big deal. It's all good. We'll flip the switch come playoff time. Let me know. All right. See ya.